allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, all. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of the 19th. They look in order.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. General public concern. Nathan, you got anything you wanna talk about?
Nothing I'm concerned about right now. Thank you.
We're good then. Looks like it's Mr. Ben.
You can't go over 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we owe him a few.
Yeah.
Why don't you, yeah, go out and come back in an hour. You'd be more used to that.
I'm ahead of time for once.
We're ahead and we've got a road opening, or open, and
Yeah, the road south door is open. I drove that this morning about 7. They're heading down to buff it up, I guess, from all the holiday traffic where it's
Yeah,
kinda
it's a
beat
little
it
rough.
down, it's a little rough. So they're gonna buff that one up and the one north of Hardy. The guys are working up by Eric's place already this morning.
Looking good.
Yep.
Looking real good.
They're moving along, we're gonna haul some rock to them, they're gonna try and finish up, their concrete today, they're looking for blankets to be able to cover it.
Highway 3 is supposed to open, what, 5th of December?
I heard the 1st and I heard the 5th.
Paper
but-
said the 5th.
Paper said
Right,
the fifth.
right in that range. So that'll be opening, and we're closing the road on the Clare Road right now. That one's only supposed to be probably 3 days, I would think they'd be done.
Dry box.
Yeah, that's that dry box culvert, so. I would think 3 days, that should be open back up. And the quarry's done crushing, so.
You bring all kinds of good news, don't you?
Right, yeah. well,
And we missed snow and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Knoxville, 16 inches.
Gosh, it'd be awful.
15.
I heard down there.
And it looked like it was kinda wet, heavy stuff too.
Yeah.
Pictures I
We, knock on wood, we got
good
lucky.
place for it.
Yeah, not here. I got a couple of pay vouchers for approval today. The first one is voucher number 2 for the box culvert north of Hardy. This pays everything but retainage on this project.
I'd move we approve voucher number 2 to Rhinus Brothers for it's $3,185.96.
I'll second Carl's motion.
We have a motion and a second to pay the $3185.96 to Rognus, which is number 2. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All the same sign, motion carries.
Second voucher that I have is voucher number 1 to Rognus Brothers for project LC 172800. This is the box culvert replacement south of Thor. And this also is everything but retainage. This includes the riprap that they've placed as well as any of the subdrain. It does include, a little bit extra for removal because we found the wing wall from the old bridge that we had to take out.
Motion to approve payment for 119-108-73.
You have a motion for voucher number 1 for the amount Dave stated,
Go ahead, Rick.
I'll second that
and a
also.
second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. So you said a little bit extra? I mean, that wasn't enough to...
That was, we paid them an extra $1,250 to tear out the north wing wall. And,
Something that they found buried.
it was the whole wing wall
Oh,
on the north side, and then the, footing of the south wing wall that they had to tear out and haul away.
okay.
The last pay voucher that I've got is to PCI. It is voucher number 1 for project BRS-CO46, parentheses 70/60-46. This is the bridge replacement with the double box culvert up by Eric's place.
That's also everything but retaining, right?
No, this is all of the box culvert, their temporary stream diversion, partial removal of the existing bridge, and some of the excavation. We'll end up having another one,
Yeah, it's actually about 30,000 left.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's, well, if you can go by the percentage, it says 88%, is that something to go with there?
They've got backfilling left and,
Well, yeah.
and fabric and riprap. They're probably, I'd say 85% done, 85% done. It's close. A large majority of the contract is the box culvert.
Right. Well, that's included in here, so. Oh, it looks good. I would make the motion to approve, voucher number 1 to PCI for the project BRS-CO46, parentheses 70/60-46.
All right, we have a motion
I second motion.
and a second. Any other discussion?
One quick question on that.
Mhm.
What are they doing with the old bridge, beams?
They are giving those to, Mr. Foth in exchange for taking all of the concrete and rebar.
Oh, really?
They've got something in writing between the two of them. And it becomes property of the contractor, and basically,
They worked out an
they
agreement?
worked out some sort of an agreement where...
Right up
he's
his alley.
taking- Where he's taking
The old
everything.
man had, maybe the most money he ever made on his scrapping.
Yeah.
Well, A, these two things. A, he's either gonna build his own bridge,
Yep, yep, well...
or B, it's salvage.
Yep, yeah, and they'd be decent for the bridge that he's got
Right.
with, power poles right now,
Yeah.
so. He's got his own little abutment set up, he could stack 3 of them right up tight next to each other and it'd make a nice bridge, yep,
Yeah.
so.
Doesn't really affect too much one way or the other. but
Yep.
I'm just curious, that was my one thing, I see, like, I think that'll work.
Yeah,
The counties doesn't have the headache of them that way.
Right, you know, I mean, we got the guardrail out of it and...
Useful for some other repair places?
Yeah, we use it to repair existing guardrail that we have throughout the county.
Okay.
Those ends alone, there's 4 of them, I think we usually pay about $500 an end.
Okay, that stuff's expensive. Oh,
Okay.
good deal.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. So just a refresher, are we, the pavement and stuff, that'll be rocked through, or is they gonna try to,
Everything will be rocked through the winter.
Right. then
The
we'll...
one south of Thor and the one that they're starting today will both end up being asphalt patches with blacktop service sometime next year. The one up by Eric's, part of the contract is, an 8-inch concrete pavement, that's gonna end up being next year, just because of timing. And the one north of Hardy will be included in the, paving plans that were
Right.
approved last week.
Okay,
Does PCI come back? Are they responsible for the concrete?
They've got a subcontractor responsible for the concrete, but ultimately it's PCI's bond
They're,
that'll carry, so they're still on the hook.
right, but, yeah, they don't do concrete work per se like that.
Not like that, no.
Overpayment.
No. For small patches like that, they bring in subs.
Okay.
all righty, your last,
The last thing that I have on the agenda is to approve an agreement and easement for drainage improvements, between the county and Jennifer Rolland and Billy Scott. This is on, McIntosh Farm, I believe is the name of it. It's,
I'm
a dead-end road. east
intimately
of-
familiar with the
Yep.
whole
Went
program.
out and looked at that too.
Yep. Yeah,
About a year ago or so, and I looked at it.
it's-
Yeah, they've been trying to work with each other.
Right.
Not the county, but
Yeah.
get to this agreement,
Yep.
and,
I think the plan for this is to do the ditch clean out and cast it on the backside of the fence
yep.
on the property owners. I've got agreements from both property owners that they'll, take the excess dirt.
And it reads that, then they're gonna pay for
Then
said
they're
clean
They're
out.
paying for the clean out, basically.
And basically, if they need to,
Maintenance of it down the road.
if it needs to be cleaned out again, it's the same program.
Same program. This covers this covers the county for the future, so if in 5 years they need it cleaned out again, they would come to us and this existing agreement would still be in force.
'Cause it kinda dumps in the road ditch and then it runs
They've
down the
got-
road and goes under the road. doesn't
They've
it?
got multiple tiles that dump into the road ditch, and the only reason that it needs to be cleaned is because it affects their tile. It doesn't affect the county road and the way it
Okay.
operates.
Alrighty. I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for the drainage easements with, Jennifer Rowland and Billy Scott.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. And I guess just one thing I'd like to toss in, it's nice that we have the agreement chasing after it's done, then we're trying to put the paperwork together, so
No,
as a county, we appreciate them.
This is nice. I know they've, like Eric said, they've been working on, getting together on this agreement, I think, for a number of years.
Well, I think, at least Billy talked to you, and he said this is, explained it to him, and he was good with that. It just took Jennifer a little while to get on board, and,
Right.
because it affects both their drainages. And, yeah, I think, like I said, it isn't something that's a yearly deal, it's probably...
No,
It's
I
been
guess
years
it's-
since it's been cleaned out.
I'd guess it's probably been 20, 30 years since it's been cleaned.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kinda what I explained to them, is basically, once we clean it, it's probably gonna be another 20, 30 years before you need it.
No, that was a good deal, and like Bruce said, it's prior to, you know, going in and say, what the heck are you doing type deal, and it just worked out real well.
Yep, no, this worked out good. I'm glad they did it, so.
All right, I got a couple, so we're still on board with you. You guys are cleaning our parking lot, right? Is that the way it was set up before?
I know we sand it.
They
So
sand
sand it,
Doug
someone
Marshall
else, Doug
was
cleans it, all right.
Yep.
I just wanted, I couldn't remember how that was set.
Yep.
Then I have another, how is, just refresh my memory, 'cause I'm looking out and I see the white stuff just kind of, how do we go about, the phone call comes in, it's, we don't ever want that stuff like they got in southern Iowa. What's the process for, you getting a hold of our guys? You know, we all look at the weather and see if something's coming in the next day or so. I'm just curious to know,
If it's,
so the public knows that,
if it's, something that you can see on the forecast, like we knew we were supposed to be getting, something Saturday night into Sunday, all of my foremen were aware of it.
we'd be on alert.
They're on alert. Most of them, they'll check outside before they go to bed, and then they usually get up at some point in the middle of the night, we all do, look out the window, see if we're actually getting anything. And then between the three foremen, they all have a conversation, usually around 5 AM, and we send trucks out at 5. And if we're not making progress at 5 o'clock with the trucks, we will pull in the blades. When we had the ice here last week or 2 weeks ago, we did pull the blades in to run the highways. So, then they use their scarifiers on the front to try and scratch.
Right. Well, someone asked me how, I said, well, I'm assuming that we all keep an eye on the forecast, like everybody does, and then they just, sometime through the middle of the night, they visit, look, line up, then they make the phone calls and call the different workers and say, hey, we're getting ready to go we're gonna start at 5, we're gonna start at whatever time, and then it's the priority of the blacktop, or the hard surface roads, and then we go to the
Then we go to the gravel.
gravel.
Yep. Yeah, we run all the hard surface roads, and then we switch to gravel once we've got the hard surface cleared.
All right, well,
Hopefully we don't get any.
I'm good with, it's already done snowing here, so I'm good with that, that we could have that for the year, and we're,
I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with those snow.
Enough snow, yeah, we got enough. Question on, not so much, we know the permitting process and the pavement process of getting a culvert under a road if someone's doing some tiling, needs to get from one side to the other on a gravel, secondary.
We're talking tile, or are we talking surface drain?
No, we're talking tile, they need to put in tile to
Okay.
get, because the outlet's on the other side of the road and they need the new outlet.
Okay.
Is there a minimum, maximum size in that, you know,
Under the traveled portion of the road, we require 12-inch concrete, that's where the $1,500 cross.
12-inch concrete, so regardless, say,
It's a 6-inch tile, they have to put 12-inch underneath the road.
just wanted to clarify on that, 'cause, yeah, so I mean, if the guy, you know, on the one side of the road, his main, you know, that he's putting is, like Rick said, if it's probably gonna be like an 8-inch, you still need a 12-inch
Still need-
cement concrete under the road.
Right, and 12 inches is the smallest that they come
Okay,
for concrete, that's
Okay.
why we just say.
just wanted a clarification on that, 'cause I was asked, so it's 12, and he was correct, he had the right information, I just wanted to make sure.
And then, depending on who's doing the work, some guys will actually run their 6-inch or whatever continuously through.
Oh, they just slide it through.
They'll just slide their line straight through, and then they just concrete
The
both
end shut.
ends shut. Others will basically just run a couple of feet in and concrete it shut, and then hook on the other end too. It just depends on
Yeah.
personal preference, which one they want.
Okay. Good, well, he had the correct information then.
Okay.
all right.
That it?
What are you gonna do the rest of the morning,
Yeah.
now that you're hour and a half ahead on your Monday?
Probably run and check on contractors again, so.
Well, we appreciate you being in and out of here.
No,
There you go.
nice. Might be a
Maybe
record early time for you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Peggy, what do you want, you wanna go with the resolution?
Yep.
Okay,
The only reason we're amending this resolution, here's a copy for the press also. The reporter has requested to have a credit card. Now that we don't have an office supply store in town anymore, to order through Office Max, you have to have some kind of
Okay.
Office Depot or Staples or any place like that, you have to have a credit card. So, we put her at the same level as we have the county attorney and the treasurer, and now, that's the only change.
Why does the sheriff not have one?
He has his own down
Okay.
there, he doesn't go through us.
Okay.
okay.
Are there any other departments that have ever requested credit card status? That haven't been a-
No?
You guys got your own out there, don't you?
We buy a lot of our paper from the DOT,
So they-
buy it in bulk.
So you guys don't have a credit card out there that you use? No.
Well, we might still have an Office Max card,
Mm-hmm.
not positive. We haven't bought anything from them in a while,
Okay.
So basically the addition of the recorder,
Right.
okay?
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment, resolution 2018-9, the county credit card for the county recorder at, set at $3,000.
We have a motion
I'll second that.
and a second, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay. You wanna did,
I think you could jump into the claims quick where you got them in front of you.
okay. We have, anyone had a chance to look at claims?
I come up with, $187,362.06. And drainage of $147,769.50.
That's what I
The
had.
numbers I also saw.
Should I-
That's your motion? I
I
second
make
that.
the motion.
We have a motion and a second by Carl. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Discussion on animal protection and control ordinance.
Dave had given me an ordinance from the city of Humboldt to use to look at, to put one together for ours. And as I start typing this up, I'm gonna revise it. There are a lot of things in here that we won't use just because we're a county, we're not a city. They don't apply to us. So I thought, rather than retyping this whole thing and then pulling stuff out, I would have you look at it first. So I'm just giving it to you, so that you can review it for a week. Come back
Okay.
next Monday with changes, things that you don't feel like belong in here.
What
And
this
then I'll go
does,
ahead and start typing something up.
what this is, when we're trying to build that little house out there, we got talking about the ordinances, and we'd like to see the county and all the entities have the same ordinance. So if we pick up a dog from Thor, or Hardy, or Bradgate, or in the county, this states that first time is $50, the next time's $100. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah, so they don't have to decipher different ordinances constantly, yeah.
That's what this is all about.
We have to take that to each city then, be adopted?
I think so.
I think Bradgate and Hardy was both at the meeting, and they are looking at it.
Good.
Yeah, I think they're on board with the idea,
Right.
pretty much, but it...
Okay, so Peggy has given this to
Take home for
take
reading
a
material.
little studying material. She
Mhm.
will have a test next Monday morning, I'm sure.
Multiple choice?
I guess we'll see how we
I
do.
hope so. That's
And I'll
the
take
best.
out the usual city, county, references. Where it says city, I'll put county.
You've scratched, were you the one that scratched this, some of this stuff?
Yeah, I started to, and then I thought, in fact, they had done an amendment, and the amendment was on page, which I consider page 2, but it says 276 on theirs, under number 7. They scratched all that on their amendment. So I just went through, and whatever they did on their amendment, I did on this copy, so you have the most up to date.
Any dog can be vicious, and that's why they've taken that out, because it don't stand up in court. You can't designate a certain dog or
Yeah.
certain breed.
Mm-hmm.
Whose ordinance is this, Dave?
This city of Humboldt.
City of Humboldt, okay.
And I think this is pretty well the same as what Dakota City has.
That's quite a list of dangerous animals. I'm hoping we
Yeah.
don't have any lions and
Yeah.
tigers.
We're really hoping we don't have any Gila monsters, 'cause they are one of the few poisonous lizards.
Now, we got a lot of bats around.
Yeah.
I like bats.
Yeah, they eat lots of mosquitoes.
That's right, but Gila monsters, if we just can stay away from them, I think we're probably all right.
They can't live in this
No.
cold weather.
No one's seen any alligators or crocodiles, recently? That's good.
Okay.
Just like, well, on page 277, it refers to prohibited animals and the keeping of livestock in the city. Well, when you're out in the country, you have to have livestock.
Right.
So, I mean, it's little things like that that I want you to look at and tweak that too, because it either comes out or it gets reworded so that it applies to us out in the county.
So we're trying to make this, as Dave was thinking,
For the
county?
For the county.
We're not necessarily trying to have a city-county,
No.
No,
We're trying to make
cities-
this as the
We can't
county.
tell the
More
state
of a,
what to do.
more of a universal one,
Yeah.
that will cover cities and counties.
but we're looking at as countywide.
Anything that's outside the limits of the
We're-
city.
We're looking at
This would
countywide,
cover.
for your tweaking purposes,
Yep.
right?
Right.
Okay.
So, wanted to pass that along.
Scratch Gila monsters in.
I don't know, I could've
The other
brought one home in
thing-
my suitcase.
Yeah, wouldn't want to. The main one is back here on,
Which one, Dave?
I don't know what page it is,
We
but
talked about that last week.
Mhm.
Last week after the meeting, Peggy
279.
asked, how long we were gonna continue to run the planning and zoning, because we had zero
Right, nobody.
calls, no interest, no. So I guess what's the board's feelings? I told her we should probably, if we have zero, we don't have a whole lot to interview, so we need to either figure out a way to put it together with something, combine it, find, what are your thoughts?
What publications were you running this in?
I did it just locally, but I could put it in the Fort Dodge paper also, if you think that might pull some people in from the surrounding area.
I would give it a shot at this point. I mean, just before we,
Is it on
I
our
wonder-
website?
No, I don't have it on there, but we
Or we
could.
should talk with some neighboring counties and see if they have a part-time person that does it, would wanna pick up more work.
Very,
yeah,
You know, 'cause then they'd be somewhat knowledgeable
yeah.
and that would make you know, 'cause there really ain't a lot of work, but it's
well, this
work.
time of year, right now, we're kind of winding down to...
Yeah, once you freeze it
Right.
hard, not much happens.
That's a good idea too.
See, Brian had something on the line this week about
He did,
another,
Weren't they adding,
in the building.
yeah, had a meeting
west?
on it
Board of
Wednesday
Adjustment.
night.
Oh, and I have the packet on it, if you guys wanna see, look through it, it's about this thick,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, we got a meeting on that confinement or add a building on Wednesday.
'Cause I mean, like we shared sanitation with
Told you.
we need to adopt our ordinance, get that changed too, to bring it up to speed county-wise, as far as fees.
Yeah.
Zoning? Yeah.
Zoning
And
ordinance.
somebody like,
It's
yeah,
really
Ocon's County
obsolete.
on zoning, I think that, if they're,
We can't even pay for anything.
Well, we aren't basically covering the cost of what,
No.
It takes to have the person drive out and look
No.
at it. Oh, like, zero doesn't pay anything.
no.
Why don't I bring that with this animal one next week and have you guys tell me what you want revised on that also, and
Okay.
we'll get that one going too.
do you want her to put it in Fort Dodge paper, or do you want her to, or...
If you put it in there and with what we just discussed with
Why don't
the,
we get the phone numbers of the surrounding counties and just visit with them people and see if they wanna look for a little more work?
Okay?
I don't know, it sounds.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with
that's
that.
fine. I mean, that's,
Then
like
you
the
aren't gonna
sanitarian,
see
I
it.
don't think he's overworked.
Right,
Does that Dave Stahl do it?
yeah.
That's already...
San-
Well, I don't know who does it. I don't
I've
know.
never
Is he
Yeah.
either planning...
I don't know if he is.
I don't
I don't
know.
know either.
We're
Same
just
time-
saying, he's able to handle, you know, the sanitarian part, and this isn't probably a great deal more than workload than the sanitarian.
At the same time we make those phone calls, we ought to figure out what their fees are too.
Yeah.
Have something to go, rather than just shooting in the dark.
Yeah, that
That'd
gives
be fine.
some idea what they're,
We can get the surrounding counties, their rules and regulations or fees, and
Webster's quite a bit higher than...
yeah, I know Webster's is.
I looked it all up like 5, 6 years ago, but I couldn't tell you now.
Mhm.
You mean for permits?
Yeah.
Mhm.
For what the cost of permits were,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that
But
would
it should be at least enough to cover the cost of the guy doing the job.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't wanna make it a thing that we're getting rich off of it, but it should cover their costs.
Break even.
That'll work, Peggy, to just
Yep.
check before we do any more advertising?
Sure can, I can have an answer for you.
do you wanna give them an overview of our meeting the other day, or...
Oh, we had, I can't remember the name.
I can't remember his
Done?
name either, that's why I was...
Revise?
Now that you can, yes,
What's his
revise.
name?
Yeah,
Something,
just put it in there, don't what's his name came to a meeting.
Yeah.
No, we had a representative from Revise here to go over some of the things they could do for us for our county website. And he showed us not only some websites from big metropolitan communities, but some local ones as well. Wright County just recently switched to Revise. The city of Humboldt has Revise. A lot of possibilities, a lot of good things on there. Of course, with all good things, there comes a cost. Upfront cost, I'm not gonna throw one out there because I don't wanna get a number out there and have
No,
someone
'cause
else
then
try to beat it.
I guarantee you, I'll get a phone
But upfront
call.
cost, and then you get monthly, you have to pay your monthly, update fees. But it looked very navigable, very easy to work with. I think it would be a good site. We have another representative coming tomorrow from Solutions to show us what they have. So,
Not to cheat, but what time was that?
that's a tip.
10, okay, that way I won't get a phone call.
I thought, like Peggy said, it was very, interesting.
Yeah.
They did, it was a nice presentation, once we got all of the technical things to work, and
Right.
it was, and it's something we need to keep up with technology. I mean, technology does cost, whether you're putting a steering system in your tractor, or you're making a new website,
Right, right.
because if...
And you wanna make it something that people it's easy for them to
Yes.
work through too.
Yeah.
So,
And that was really, with our presentation, they really stressed that, don't get too much stuff going on. We
Try
have,
to keep it simple.
Bruce asked some good questions too, about something, and speaking of the forms, building permits and stuff, having some forms on there and different things, so it was very interesting. Looking forward to seeing what the solutions is tomorrow.
right.
But yeah, it was very educational.
We had, Peggy was in here, Linda was in here.
Jana Bratley.
Jana.
Mary
Kathy.
Beth came from the recorder's office, Kathy Erickson.
Kathy was here also, so, and then I was just busy.
Thankfully, I happened to call Bruce right before that.
And I said, well, what are you doing in town? And he said, well, I'm going to that meeting. So I was going through the Four Corners, and I just come up the hill, and I said, well, I kinda like, being that I'm the computer whiz that I am.
Yeah. You're pretty
I wanted to
techy.
make sure that, I was in on it, but it was very interesting, and, I guess Peggy would probably have some of the towns that you could pop, up and look at the ability of what, was it Wright, Webster, Des Moines,
Yeah.
there was, what did he say, 16, 17 that they've done in Iowa?
Mhm.
And they're out of Michigan, the Detroit area?
Yep, Detroit area.
So, it's a nice, they did a nice job, and they had some technical issues at the beginning, and then we found out how to get that solved, and we did it.
With the TV again.
Yeah.
But it ended up working,
Had to get a
but it was,
Connecting.
once that got straightened out, it was a very good presentation.
Yeah.
Very good presentation, very well presented, and a lot of, things to think about, but,
It'll be interesting to see tomorrow, and then we'll have, well, the good news is we set aside some money, right?
Yes.
So it isn't like we're
Yep.
stumbling around trying to figure out that we got $5 or we got $5 million. We don't have $5 million, by the way, but we have some money that we've been setting aside, waiting to hopefully do this, and I think it'll be a huge asset for us, and that's our goal anyway, so.
Sorry I missed a meeting, I went up to Minnesota and watched the church ladies give a
How
play.
dare you, Carl?
Really funny.
Carl, did you go on a bus trip, or did you go up by yourself?
By myself.
I have a couple other things.
The bus trip coming up this week.
It's worth it,
Thanks.
it's worth the chips.
First off, I wanted to make sure and give certificates of election to Bruce and to Rick for winning elections.
Congratulations.
And when Sandy comes in, we'll give her
Haven't signed
hers,
that.
haven't seen her yet.
Thank you. No rude remarks on it either.
No, I didn't even stamp it.
Received a notice from Travis from the city. This is an official cancellation of our lease with the city for using the, old fire station to park our emergency management equipment in. So,
So what has come up with that? Nothing?
We visited,
Okay.
and
Are you in-
this is effective December 31st. So it's a month, he's given us a month,
30
which is
days.
according to the lease, yeah, 30 days. And it came in last week, so so I'll let you look at that, but I need it back, this is the original,
okay.
so. What else do I have? Just have Bold Library filed their annual report, so I'll put that up there so you can look at that. And then some claims reports from the insurance company. And that's it. Oh yeah, don't forget the District 2 Supervisors winter meeting, coming up on December 6th at the Elks Lodge in Draw City.
And then,
You weren't,
I typically have gone, I do have a doctor's appointment that day.
I think Dave and I are going, and so far.
Okay,
I've asked Janelle to make up the report for us.
okay.
couple things on that, Carl, I did invite, Tim Crane-Brink and Mike Sexton.
What'd they say?
Mike has gone to that meeting in the past,
Mhm.
and there's, I believe it's even the same day, there's another district supervisors, 'cause he's kind of in between
Mhm.
districts. He's gonna go the one to the west.
Okay.
Yeah, probably got more area that way.
He's been to this, and he just, they're after him too, their district, whichever number that is, so he's going there. Tim, it's hard to say,
Yeah.
but he knows about it.
I put your name on
Thank
it
you.
because we knew that you'd typically went to
Yeah, I
it,
kinda
so
enjoyed
we
going to
might
that
wanna
one.
scratch his name off. I tentatively wrote it on there last
Okay.
week,
So
so
we
he
don't have to
wasn't
pay for
here,
it.
so.
What else did we sign him up for when he was gone?
Yeah,
Well-
I'm scared.
I can't-
I can't remember.
We're gonna tell you about it as it comes up.
You'll be notified, and then within an hour of every meeting
Yeah.
you're supposed to be at.
Unfunded
Already
mandate
more or less
committee.
appointed
Yeah.
Sandy to a couple
Yeah,
of things,
boy,
she's not even officially sworn in yet.
Yeah.
Then the day after that, the 7th, do you have us all registered for the drainage district, meeting?
Yes.
7 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Which reminds me, when he said, haven't been sworn in yet, would you like me to get a hold of a judge to swear you in on January 2nd? Or do you just want me to swear you guys in?
Well, there's three of us.
Yeah.
Ty-
that's
Typically in
Sandy's-
the past, we've had a
Sandy's first-
judge.
Sandy's
so-
first term, I think that'd be nice for her.
Is anybody planning on running through here tomorrow at 10 for the,
Yes.
so she don't get in trouble? If you're thinking of coming.
I'm planning on it, 'cause I
So
wanna,
we don't get too many guys or people in here.
I'm planning to come.
Well, I would like to come because now
I don't
my
have to.
interest is to.
well, now you have a comparison.
I-
Yeah, I have something compared to it.
Yeah.
The ones just posted.
Yeah,
Ask Peggy, I don't know.
Yeah, we can do that.
That way you're safe.
Real busy week.
When you make Peggy mad, then that makes it a long week.
It
She-
takes a lot to...
She was up here working last night, just
And
sharpening
she
her
looks
weapon.
very well, regrouped after the election cycle,
I am
so.
rested, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Even with the Black Friday shopping, I'm rested.
That's the reason you had your lights on at 8 o'clock last night?
Yeah, I was catching up on a few things.
I'm gonna
Well-
try to stop up.
Okay,
She's just gonna post this for all
Yep.
of
I have
our
to leave
safety.
early, I got to deliver meals, so I might be a part of it.
Okay, looks like we've got checked off down to the committee reports.
Make you happy, I have no report.
No report.
No report, no
oh, this
report.
is gonna be
Look
fast.
at Peggy go.
Your turn.
I better double check. Well, I know that I was at the meeting, Wednesday, where we had the presentation by Revised folks. That was good, and I guess outside of that, nothing official.
I don't think I had anything either.
Tell us about your warm weather trip.
It was nice, we had some good ball games we watched.
Your face still a little red.
I got a lot of sun.
Well, on Friday, when your wife posted the pictures of the beach, and had quite a bit of snow, I just
One
was
thing
really
nice,
jealous.
the ball games were at night, so you gotta enjoy the sun through the day, and then you went to the gym at night. Worked out real well.
All right, I stopped through for that meeting on, up here at 10, and then I had the ministerial meeting at noon, so we covered, we're working on the food pantry, trying to get that figured, and they're still working on that other facility, which they haven't come up with anything, so we're still in the secondary roads department, so right now, that's what we have. Anything else?
We're all signed up for the annual drainage district, aren't we, in Fort Dodge on the 7th?
Mm-hmm, yep, everybody's all signed up.
And we'll pick you up for that meeting,
Okay.
because I'm gonna go right by your house.
I'm gonna ride by myself, 'cause I'm going to Webster City and then come back.
Okay, yeah, you
Go
said
both
that.
of them same day.
Well, that's the sixth, right?
7th.
Seventh. Yeah, that's a Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out when we get closer to that. Anything else?
Peggy sent me, she is so diligent, I tell you, I just gotta take hats off. Dredged something up out of the archive from 2004. So that's ways back
Weed
there.
commission.
And, it's a notice of noxious weeds. The last time it was published, apparently it was 2004. It is not obviously a requirement, but, so we may not publish it verbatim from, because it's almost from a code that was published back then. But I think we'll probably put something in, springtime, as far as relationship to weeds and location.
In the paper.
Papers, it was published, yeah. Because there was a question on my form that I filled out, and I correctly answered, no, we did not publish it, it's been a long time since we have. So, but I just wanna say, that was, I got that and I thought, man, you really researched that to find something that old, but, so it has been done in the past. I think we'll put something in there, springtime, in dealing with weeds, we'll see how we wanna word it. We don't have to put that section of the ordinance.
Just so you know, he was hands down
I've
weed
seen that,
commissioner.
I've seen that in the minutes.
Nobody ran against
We
it.
never even had, we didn't have to have a
Thank
ballot.
you,
He didn't get a chance
Thank
to
you.
vote.
We didn't want you to think we were just putting you on that committee.
I was darn glad I didn't write it in
I was
there.
gonna say, we talked about it.
Did your report have to say
Right?
something about noxious weeds for the presence of them?
It's, yeah, it's, well, basically that,
I said I can see if we've got something published newer in our office, 'cause we've got.
it isn't a requirement. I think what we're gonna try to get something is, honestly, probably more location, like we worked through this past year.
Yep.
Because that, on the giant ragweed part of weed control, that worked great where we got the locations. The only ones that we don't have, don't have is we didn't have a location for them,
Well,
so.
like you said, it doesn't pay to have them driving up.
They can't afford
No.
to, no.
It
And our
saves-
guys-
They're very sporadic.
Our
Saves
guys are
everybody
already
money.
blading, so.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, it saves money.
So between that, and if we can just word something, for the public, because you'll see them early enough to their program of going out and spraying them, and it's very cost-effective that way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway, I wanted to say, Peggy, I got that, man, that is a long time ago, but you found it, so. We'll work on that as we get closer into spring next year.
Awesome. All right. Anything else? We have a motion
All set?
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are out at 9:00.